Moms of one are truly it girls. Like they truly embody the it girls of motherhood.
Mothers who are one and done are the ones that actually tested motherhood and then they're enjoying their free life. This is not us comparing mothers that are one and done and also child free by choice women. But then I believe that mothers that are one, I just have just one child and they're like, you know what, I'm not having anyone again. They don't look miserable. Like, have you guys seen mothers that are one and done? That they did not even fall for the old society pressure, people telling them you have to get your child a sibling, you cannot just have one child, having one child can make the child very lonely. Have you seen the mothers that are one and done and you know I feel like they actually escaped that miserable motherhood. Anyway, you guys, I have interesting videos of women that are one and done telling you guys about their experience and how happy they have for choosing that lifestyle. Let me show you all this clip, then we'll come back and talk about it.
Moms of one are truly it girls. Like they truly embody the it girls of motherhood. And they almost get the same amount of societal pressure as women who choose to remain child free. But it's a little bit different because moms of one chose motherhood and they also choose themselves. Moms of one still have room for autonomy over their life. They still have room for rest. They still have room for ease. And people don't like that. And one thing I know is that if you're a woman, people hate when you have freedom. And if you couple that with motherhood, they really hate it because as a mom, you're not expected to have freedom. Like you're expected to struggle. You're expected to submerge yourself into motherhood and you're expected to lose your identity. But when you only have one child, it's like the perfect balance. You can still be a mother and then you can still pour into yourself and you can focus on yourself. And don't let you be a single mama with one child and you got some money and y'all are thriving. Oh, they really hate that because
Where are my moms who are pretty sure they are going to be one and done moms? Because that's me. I became a mother when I was 22 years old, and then I became a single parent 5 months postpartum. So I quickly learned what it was to actually be a mother and then also be the primary parent, the primary caretaker, the primary provider, all of those things. I love my daughter so much, and I love her in this lifetime and every single one after, and she is the biggest blessing in my life, and she completely changed me as a person for the better in the trajectory of my life. However, I do not yearn or crave to be a mother again. My daughter satisfies all of those wants and needs out of motherhood for me, where I don't feel like I need multiple kids. Now, is having more kids completely off the table for me? No, because if I did meet the right person and they didn't have kids themselves, I wouldn't be selfish enough to rip that experience from them. But I did learn a big lesson in motherhood and becoming a single parent, and that is that the person that you choose to have children with is single-handedly probably one of the most important decisions of your life. So for me to ever have a child with someone else again, the person would have to be damn near perfect. And the people who get it, they get it. Also, this is going to be a hot take, and some of you might not agree with me, but if you are choosing to have a child, you need to have it in the back of your head that if you're bringing a child into this world, you need to be capable and completely and 100% sure that if shit goes left, you are able to take care of that child on your own. You are able to be the primary parent. You're able to be the primary caretaker. You're able to be the primary provider. Because 8 times out of 10 these days, relationships don't last. And that's the sad reality of it. Which is another reason why I'm so satisfied with just having one child and not bringing any more children into this world with a broken home.
Listen, they lied. They lied to you, fam. Take it from me. Have one kid and be done. Be one and done. I don't care what your mama say. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care what anyone tells you. Oh, I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna help you. You have a village. No, you don't. At the end of the day, all these people have their own lives, so we can't knock them for that. They have their own lives, their own jobs, their own responsibilities. They're not going to be able to be there for you 24/7. If you have 2, 3, 4 kids, you are outnumbered. You're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. You are going to cry. You are not going to enjoy motherhood. Have one and be done. For whatever reason, the men don't bear the responsibilities like the moms do. So just know, 1 and 1 is easy. Listen, have one, you're one, you can do it. If you're outnumbered, that's when the real work starts and it gets hard. Do not do it. Do not let nobody convince you otherwise. Please, don't say I didn't warn you.
I really had one kid and said I'm done. I know life is about lessons, baby. Let me tell you something. All it took is for me to learn one time to be a single mom that I'll never do this shit ever again. My next baby gotta come with a contract, a ring, and some more shit like dead ass. You would not trick me to have a kid and it don't come with nothing else but the kid? No. My daughter is turning 12 next week, and I really don't regret anything about it. It's like as they get older, it's like it get harder. I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's because it's like you don't want your kid to feel like they being left out because the other parent is not there. So yeah, I'm traumatized. I'm never having another kid ever again if it don't come with a ring or anything else. You can hang that up.
So y'all know I'm a mom. I'm a mom of one to a 7-year-old. And I be having people always tell me, like I recently just had someone told me, you need to give that boy a sibling. You need to give him a sibling. You shouldn't just let him be the only child. First of all, I'm a single mom. There's no ring on my finger. I am not married. And one thing what my situation taught me is to not get another baby daddy. If I ever have another child, I have to be married. And being married not even enough. You got to really want to be a dad. Like really want to have a child. Really want to be there, because I wouldn't wish being a single mom on nobody. Being a single mom ain't no joke. It is not no joke. When I tell you it's a lot, you have to do every single thing by yourself, especially when you got a deadbeat. I'm talking about like it's a lot physically, emotionally, financially. It is a lot doing everything by yourself. So if I didn't learn anything else in life, I learned not to put myself in a position to raise another child by myself, to be a single mom of 2. It's a lot. And I salute people that have multiple kids. But for me, if I'm going to be one and done, I don't mind being one and done. Because if it's not going to be in the right situation, I'm not going to bring no more kids into a broken home, into a broken situation, and then I'm stuck. Because at the end of the day, the moms, they be stuck. And the dads, they get to go. I don't care. And men tell you anything. They tell you anything. And then they be going about their business and you stuck with the child. No, like, no. I'm okay with just being one and done for now. You know, if God want me to have a child, then he's going to send the right person in my life, the right man to have one with, and that's going to really want to be there, be a dad, help me financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. Like, I just refuse to bring another child in a situation, in a messed up situation. I just learned my lesson. I don't know. It took me one time, one and done for now.
I think the kindest thing I ever did for myself was be one and done. I have one son. He's 8 years old. And life has gotten substantially easier, has gotten older. And it's so funny to me that a long time ago, I wanted to be like a mom of multiple, way back. I want to say like I'm 21. Again, for reference, I'm 34. And I think around the age of 5 is when I said I'm never going to have any other child. Because I said if I didn't have another child before he was 5 or by the time he was 5, that I wouldn't have any more children. Because people overestimate their ability to care for children. I think being a parent is one of the hardest tasks you'll take on. One of, because becoming a doctor is probably really hard, and a lawyer and all other things. So, and being a caregiver. But being a parent is extremely difficult, and we overestimate our ability to care for children, especially when we can barely care for ourselves. We really overestimate that. And I think it's a twofold. Like if you're a woman who's either married or in a relationship, you need to have as many children as you can take care of yourself, if none at all. And you need to have as many children as you're willing to put effort into. because you have your first child and you realize just how much effort it takes to raise them, to care for them, to not just do the basics like house and clothe and feed them, especially in the world we live in, that's becoming increasingly difficult, but to make sure they got a good education and make sure they're kind, make sure they're empathetic, make sure they're aware of other people, make sure they're considerate. You have to be on top of that constantly. And as a mother of a boy, the notion that boys are easier to raise has baffled me because I have not found that to be true, especially since the men we get indicates that we weren't raising them at all. But especially raising boys is very difficult for me, or raising a boy is very difficult for me. He's not a bad kid, he's not even like a specifically difficult kid, but I have to stay on top of making sure he remains empathetic, he remains kind, he remains thoughtful, he doesn't treat the women in his life like maids just because they want to do nice things for him, that he doesn't pick up misogynistic undertones or misogyny in general. I have cut out YouTube because I don't want him to accidentally stumble on anything. I have to correct things he says that he learns at school and remind him how hard I work, his grandmother's work, the fact that most of the women in his life he's related to do so much for him, care so much for him, do so much for his education. And to be frank, he has a really good dad and who's there for him, but I think like just the effort in making him a good person is a lot of work because he can so quickly be derailed. And I do not have that effort for another child. And my fear is having another child and having a girl and her falling by the wayside because I have to continuously put effort into my son. And I wanted a girl at first. I really wanted to be a mother of a girl. I wanted to be a girl mom so bad. But I have my son who I love dearly, but I have to make sure I stay on top of putting effort into making sure he's a good person, an empathetic person, and an educated person. And that is a lot of work. And that is not something I want to repeat. And parenting is not as easy as people make it seem and glamorous as the TikToker influencers and YouTube make it seem. It might be nice to collect a coin, but I actually want to be a good mother. And I find that when you invest a lot of time into children, you realize very quickly that you can only do so much. Like you only have the capabilities of doing so much. And you might fail your second or third child. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to fail my second or third child. And I don't want to give up my autonomy. I still have a lot of autonomy. I still read like 200 books a year. I couldn't do that with multiple children. He leaves me alone enough to do that. He likes to do his own thing a lot of the time. And I have to spend time with him because he's an only child. But lucky for me, he has cousins, he has family members. But I have a lot of my autonomy and I don't want to give it up. So I say that all to say that when you decide to become a parent, if you decide to become a parent, because I really love that child free movement, I see all the women doing it and I'm like, yes, girl, please, please. Because I had my son at 26 and I fear that if the movement came any sooner, I probably wouldn't have had children. But I say that to say that be very mindful when people are telling you either to have a child or have more than one, because they're telling you that because they want you to experience the misery they experience with more than one child. And this idea that you need to give your child a sibling, children do not need children as a gift. It's weird. Put them in an activity, get them a cousin or something, but like children don't need children. Okay? I have siblings and I'm only really close with the one. So,
If you have one child, it's easy for you to manage that child. Even if it's a boy or a girl, it's easy for you to manage that child. It's easy for people to even assist you. For example, if you want to travel, you can easily drop your child because it's just one child. Imagine you having two, three, four. Who's going to accept that? Who's going to want to take care of you and three other children? It's going to be very, very difficult, right? But if you have just one, you can even travel with the child, only one. Travel expense is cheaper, caring for them is cheaper. Even you can have time for yourself. You'll be able to have time for yourself. You'll be able to do other things, not just your life. Your life is not going to evolve around motherhood. And I feel like people that usually pressure women that have just one child to have more children, they just want you to be miserable like them, really. They always advise women that only have one. You have to have another one. Just have another one. Just have another one. You cannot just stay with only one child. Why would you have only one child? you're selfish. In fact, they even tell women that are also one and done selfish that you're actually making your child to be lonely. Your child is not going to see anybody to play with. Your child is not going to have any siblings. Your child is going to be the only child, and it's going to be very difficult for them to mingle and all of that. They always look for the bad side of having just one child. And I personally feel like you giving your child a sibling doesn't guarantee that they are going to be siblings forever. It doesn't guarantee that they're going to love each other for a long time. So I don't understand where they always say give your child a sibling so that your child can have a best friend. Who tell you siblings are best friends? A lot of people don't even talk to their brothers or their sisters. In fact, some of them are not even close, right? So you having elder sister, younger brother, younger does not mean that you're not going to be lonely, or doesn't mean that you are not going to be on your own later on, right? So I feel like those are the little lies they tell women, and that makes women to want to have more children. A lot of women that have like more than one child, they always say, when you ask them why do you have like three children, they'll be like, I cannot just have one, because they don't see one as reasonable. Like, why should I have just one child? Right? And they'll just tell you, I just want to have like two or three. I feel like one is going to, it's not going to make sense. You don't really have a genuine reason for having more than one child. In fact, there are some women that I have like five children, and later on in the years, they come to tell us that I wish I had stopped at number one. I wish I stopped by number one. Probably by number one, I've tested the motherhood thing, and now I know that it's not for me. Some of them are having it because of their husband or because they cannot just have one, right? You see, some women will tell you, I shouldn't have had the second child because the second child messed me up medically, messed me up everywhere. Like they cannot get their body back because they think that they snatch back immediately for the first one. Definitely, are going to snatch back the second one. They will tell you the second one messed them up. They wish they stop at one and all of that. So I personally feel like if you're still thinking and contemplating of having a child, why not just have one for a long time? Don't have back to back babies, and or I also have one now, I'll have one later in the year or later next year. It doesn't make sense for me. I feel like I have one and kind to see if the motherhood thing is for you, right? I feel like testing motherhood with just one, it's okay than having so many. It's easy for you to live your life and enjoy your life with just one than having multiple children. Money wise, financially is better, is always better, because the way things are expensive, imagine having three children, you buy one and buy three. You are timesing everything times three because you have three kids, right? But if you have just one, you know that it's just you and the person. In fact, even when you're if you're married and you have that one child, if your marriage doesn't work out, having one child, living alone with one child is not so difficult, you guys. It's not so difficult. You see videos of single mom of one, they don't even, you can't even tell. Like, I feel like mom that are one and done actually, like, if you don't listen to society pressure, because people are going to pressure you, they're going to pressure you and make you feel like you're doing something wrong. They make you feel like you're choosing the wrong path. But I personally feel like if you're one and done in your heart, you're going to be one and done. Nobody can push you to do anything. It's just like women that are child free by choice. Once a woman says she's not going to have a child, she's not going to have the child. There's nothing you want to do about it. Exactly as women that are one and done, no matter how much pressure, no matter how much you make them feel like they are going to hurt their child for not getting their child a sibling, they're not going to fall under that pressure, right? You guys, what's your take about women that are mothers that are one and done? Let's have conversation down in the comment section, respectfully. As always, your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next one.